Welcome back. The Nkandla report remains a mystery. The Western Cape got a resounding no in a response to a request to Police Minister for troops deployment, yet the Northwest Province may be getting them. And then we have this. The ANC Youth League in the Western Cape seems to be intensifying its campaign to make that province ungovernable. So it certainly does not seem to have been a very smooth road to the elections next year for the Democratic Alliance. Well, let's get reaction now from DA leader Helen Zille on a series of events. Premier, very good morning to you. Thanks again for joining us. The DA's decision to advertise on the back of the MTN recharge vouchers has not been welcomed by the ANC, to say the least. Some have called the ANC a bully because they have spoken to the MTN out against this move. What do you say?
Well, it's bizarre. I mean, anybody can advertise wherever they want. We paid for that space. And for the ANC to start bullying private companies not to accept legal and legitimate advertising is simply outrageous. The ANC does not actually know where the boundaries lie anymore, and they believe that they can bully anybody in government and in the private sector to do what the ANC wants. Those are the actions of a dictatorship, not a democracy.
Now, what's the state of play at the moment? Is that advertising campaign with the MTN, is it going ahead or has it been pulled?
Well, of course it's going ahead. We've paid for the space and it's legal. And if it were to have been pulled, that would be the actions of a dictatorship. It's unbelievable how the ANC bullies anybody who donates any money to any of the opposition parties. And now when we legitimately pay for advertising space, they're bullying companies that sell advertising space to us. I mean, this is unheard of in a constitutional democracy, and it is unconstitutional and unlawful, and shows people what kind of dictatorship we're moving into under the ANC.
The ANC Youth League seems to be living up to its promise of making the Western Cape ungovernable. We have what is being called the feces saga. What do you have to say with regards to that? I know allegations this morning that one of your motorcades were ambushed with feces and urine been thrown at it.
Yes, that is right. The ANC Youth League is running an ungovernability campaign in the Western Cape. And as part of their ungovernability campaign, they are stealing people's tanks off their portable flush toilets that families can choose to have in the Western Cape rather than have to use the bucket system. There are a few thousand people left with the bucket system, which we believe is undignified, and so we're offering every family that has to use one a portable flush toilet that they can have for free and that is serviced for free. But the ANC Youth League doesn't like us delivering to people, and so it is deliberately stealing people's tanks from their toilets when they put them outside for servicing free by the city, and they are using the contents of those tanks to try and ambush me, to throw feces on people's cars and other things when they go to important developments or events in Khayelitsha or other places, and then of coming to our offices and spreading feces on the steps leading up to our office.
Very briefly, if we can go to Parliament for a second. I know your parliamentary spokesperson, Lindiwe Mazibuko, has pressed the Public Works Minister to try and clarify the classification of the Nkandla report. Are we making any progress, any headway when it comes to that, do you think?
Well, this again is pure censorship. There's no law at all which enables the Minister Nxesi to classify the Nkandla report. So they're inventing a classification to hide the contents from the public. They don't want the public to know the details of how President Zuma came to spend 206 million rand of taxpayers' money on his private home. So they've classified the document without any legal framework or justification for doing so, and they're thinking that we're going to keep quiet about it. Well, we are not. And that is why Lindiwe Mazibuko, who is our leader in Parliament, is raising this issue and challenging the Minister to say under which law he has classified this most important report that the public has a right to see because it is their money.
Well, thank you so much again for your time. DA leader Helen Zille speaking to us on a range of issues this morning. With that, let's take a look at our headline stories.
News that moves. eNCA.com.